This is Renzo from the Extra Mile, and today I'm going to present the Honda PCX 160. This bike came out already a few years ago, 2021. It was being produced in Indonesia, and about a year plus later we got it in Vietnam. By then Honda Vietnam had already stopped production due to COVID issues, so now our only option is to have it imported from Indonesia, which is why we have these rubbers where the front license plate should be, as it is required in Indonesia. The PCX 160, in my opinion, is one of the best scooters Honda has ever made. People may know that I'm a big fan of the ADV, and I made a video about it, but when it comes to comfort in an urban setting, I think this is the best choice by far. I was already a fan of the 125 and 150cc versions, because I believe they give you the best comfort in the categories, but this one with a new engine with 4 valves is way more stable and smoother than the previous versions, and it's just so much better because of that. One issue right away with the stock one is that the original seat cover is way too soft, so you slide off or it can actually break with too much pressure. So I actually will change this one, and I will advise to do the same to anybody, but that's a small detail, honestly. The rest is really good. One difference on the PCX 160 that is not found on previous versions, at least in the ones that arrived to Vietnam, is the front ABS brake. Now I know that some versions of PCX have the ABS brake already in different nations where it is required, but in Southeast Asia it's not a requirement to have ABS. So it's kind of a luxury option for the ones who want to have it. So yeah, here we have the ABS, and at the rear we have a disc brake. The braking power of the PCX 160 is excellent. I think it can't be much better than that, honestly. One addition of this model is the Honda selectable torque control. The torque control seems to activate mainly when I'm doing some sharp turns. Now, one very common comment on the PCX is that it's too long and people are concerned that it's not nimble enough to make a sharp turn or some curves. I completely disagree with that, because the handlebar is very flexible, and apparently this torque control keeps your bike balanced when you are turning, even at this kind of angle. I will show you that. So without further ado, let's give it a try. The digital display is quite nice, I like it, and we have the 9 usual bars on the fuel gauge, because the PCX has a 8.1 liters fuel tank, which is massive, and according to Honda it can go for 330 kilometers on that. That is a great autonomy. First thing we notice is how smooth it is. The engine does not get loud like a 125 will be doing now. 150s improve that kind of sound of the engine, but this one is way smoother. The sitting position is excellent, and as usual, a maxi scooter like the PCX or a few similar bikes like the ADV built on the same frame, they have this footrest where you can actually extend your whole leg like this, like I'm doing now. So I can put my legs in a 90-degree position like a normal scooter and do some normal riding in the city, or I can relax and disengage my legs, extend entirely. I am 172 meters, so I'm not very tall compared to most foreigners, but overall this position is feasible for most people. And in any case, you can modify the seat, like we do for some of our customers who rent these bikes, who are 2 meters tall. For US people, that's 6 feet, I think. So we modify the seat to be able to sit back further, allowing the customer to have their leg extended. And when you're going like this, not engaging the muscles of your leg, it gets way more comfortable. I feel like cruising nicely. Now this torque control that I was talking about, I can feel it now when I'm twisting all the way up. A very common problem in the previous PCX versions, and maybe still today, is the TPS, throttle position sensor. So that issue meant that when you twist all the way up, it will not identify the position and it will think it's lower, so you lose acceleration power at the moment, which is not great and a bit dangerous sometimes. So with the torque control, I can see that if I'm going all the way up, twisting the throttle to the max, it's gradually going up. It's controlling that torque. It's very smooth and stable the way it goes up. So it's hard to make a mistake or going whiskey throttle, for example. which you should never do on a scooter, but never know, some people do, you know. Let's go back and let's do some alleys, because I want to see that torque control at a lower speed. All right, so we are entering a bit smaller streets now. This bike is so stable, it's really, really nice. Look at the handlebar, going at 60 plus per hour. It really keeps straight, and the braking power is excellent. Front brake, very good braking power. Easy to calculate the braking distance. Coming out. All right. So the corner, I'm doing a bit of leaning. Nice. It's going in a great line. You can turn very easily. So what I can do to show how nimble the PCX 160 is, despite its length, is doing this figure 8 here. Well, evidently it's not designed for a PCX. It's designed for small bikes like a Honda Wave or so, but it allows me to show you that actually the movement on the handlebar is excellent. Even though I'm crossing a bit this line, which is designed for like a Honda Wave or so, I'm able to follow the circle quite well. So the first PCX didn't have this kind of handlebar completely out. They had plastic going over it. That was 14 or 15 years ago. So since then, they basically opened to allow the handlebar to go all the way to the right. You see the tire all the way to the left. Now people are scared that this much twisting on the handlebar could make you fall. And it's true that if you use the brakes at the wrong timing without ABS, you will, definitely. Now this bike is very safe because the braking is excellent and the torque control actually makes a difference. But I really, really love this movement on the handlebar because it allows me to lean and to make a sharp curve that even some smaller scooters can't do exactly. I am now driving with my staff T on the back, who is 110 kilograms. I'm 90 myself, so we are 200 kilos on the bike with the heaviest on the rear. And the bike still goes very well. It still has a very good torque. Yeah, very smooth, T says behind me. So even a 2 up, we can still go at a very nice pace and good torque. I can feel how the torque control smoothens that curve going up, and it takes a bit longer when we have more weight, which makes sense, honestly. But yeah, it's carrying us uphill on the bridge now without any issues. I know some people think that the PCX has a horrible shape, and well, everybody has their opinion, that's normal. I like the shape. I think that the new design is very modern. It fits with the current trend. I think it's a beautiful bike, honestly. So you can actually feel kind of on a luxury bike on this one, given the shape, the size, and the feeling, and all the safety features. Yeah, by far one of my favorite urban riding scooters. And I honestly think that the design of this bike, which is modern, is very nice. I think the design really fits the image of comfort and luxury they want to present with the PCX 160. And that will be all for today on this beautiful bike. Thank you for watching.